Hi everyone, this is an instruction video to show you how to put together a Thule freeride 532 bike rack. So this is how it comes out the pack. These things are attached, this is loose, and there's no grippers on the top here. This is the first bag of parts, so you've got the two heads which come onto the top of these bars here. These basically slot onto the top like that, and this is the mechanism which basically passes through the middle to form a clamp on there. So we'll go through on how to fit that. There's two separate ones of these, and it all depends on the thickness of your frame depending on which one you use. So you've got a long one and a slightly shorter one. So that just depends on how thick your frame is, so make sure that it clamps properly. So these are the two different thickness ones. So the smaller one was actually inside a different bag. So that's what I was talking about with the two separate thicknesses. So we'll have a look and we'll measure the frame and see which one we need to use. You get three fastening clips, bolts, whatever you want to call them, latches, and then these, you need one for these. These basically fit inside each of these. That's what's going to fasten the bolts to. Okay. So if you've got an aero bar or a wing bar, then these will slide inside. These are called Tbolts or T-trap bolts. These will slide inside, and they basically fit and locate into these. And as you pull your latch down, that's how it fastens. So it depends on which roof bar you've got. So when I go to fit it outside, I'll show you how it fits on top of the roof bar that I've got. I'll be using these ones. But if you've not got those ones, you get this arrangement, and the clips go underneath your bar, and then these obviously fit like that. So that's a slightly different arrangement. So if you've just got like a square bar, then you'll be using these ones. If you've got one where the T-bolt slide in, an aero bar or a wing bar, you'll be using these ones. Finally, you should have a set of locks. So one with the key, two with the keys in, and then ones without. One word of advice, just think about which side you're putting these on. So these are the pads that go against your frame. This is where this Tbar thing fits in, and then that passes through, and then you have your lever on the other side. So depending on which side you want to access the bike from on the side of your car, just have a think about that, because you might get it up on your car and then find you're having to reach around the other side to try and pull and fasten that latch on there, which is a bit of a pain. So I've got three bikes, and I will be putting three bikes on mine, so the middle one doesn't really matter. I can get it from either side, but the one on the left and on the right, I'm going to make sure that I've got the latches on the right way around. So obviously we'll show you that when we're actually fitting it onto the car as well, so just a word of warning. So this is what I was telling you about regarding the thickness of the bars on your bike. So it tells you there between 22 and 58 mil. You use the small rubber, which is there, and then the bigger rubber, 65 mil one, is between 59 and 70 mil. So between 22 and 58, 59 and 70. That gives you a max there as well. So you need to basically now measure the bar. So the measurement is the depth, so top to bottom, so it's not across the bar, it's top to bottom. So we should just get a rough guide there. It's pretty obvious looking at that. That's about 40 mil, so we're well in the small one there. So that means we're going to be following this bit. So we need to make sure that the bar goes through the top hole, whereas that one goes through the second hole. So we're going through the top hole. So make sure this bit, actually first of all, this bit clicks into here and that stops it moving. This obviously acts as a bit of cushioning for your bike frame, and that's determined by obviously which size bike frame that you've got. So if it's a narrow bike frame, which we determined ours was, then we use the short one. There's a slightly longer one that would come in here, and you'd move this bar down. So you need to make sure that's in, you need to make sure that's in, because that gives you the cushioning for your bike frame to rest upon. And then basically you just sort of twisting this in as we're going. We just keep twisting it, you don't want to do it too much to make sure you get your bike in when we take it out and put it on the car. and you can twist it and fasten it. And then you basically just got this, which acts just to stop the rain and water coming in as a cover really, so it just presses in to the holes. That goes on the opposite side to your lock because your lock locates into those holes on that side. So, and then as I briefly mentioned at the start, that literally just sits on top of that. Because when you fix it to your car, it obviously gets fixed from underneath and that clamps it on. And then I've put these two in already. Basically you need to put these inside the edges in here. Slide them in. And you've got 3 there. So one of them's slightly different, one's got a hole in it for the lock, and these 2 haven't. So we'll see where they go in a second. For this video I will be using the Tbars. I won't be using these ones because I've not got that sort of bar. So it shows you on the instructions here. If you've got this side bar, then you use those little hooks there. And I've actually got the wing bar there, that top one. So obviously it tells you with your wing bar, use these Tbars, so that's what I'll be doing on this video. So first of all, let's get this one in. That first one there, which goes on there, and then these 2 basically go through there. This is a bit awkward to do when I'm using one hand, but basically what you do is you twist these Tbolts in like this. Obviously I've taken this, lifted it off because it's not attached on there, but you just literally twist it around. But even if it was fixed onto the bars like that, you're doing the same thing underneath with your hand. You're just twisting it in because it's going into this bolt, going into the hole of this bolt and locating it. And then ultimately then what will happen is, obviously once you've got that on a little bit, the Tbolt's now underneath there, and that will slide in. We'll see that in a second. So, point of note, this is the latch with the hole in it, and you've got those 2 which go onto that section there. So this one has a hole on it, so that's got a lock on it. So it shows you how to put a lock on, which we'll do next. So the lock barrel, basically it slides into here, but you have to have the key in, because when you put the key inside, it pushes all the pins down in the barrel, so it can actually slide through and locate. I put it in to test it before the video, I can't actually get it back out again, so it's definitely in the right position, it's just very difficult to get back out again, but basically it turns the end which locks it in, so it locates itself. Okay, so that's the first lock. You get these 2 little bumper pads which are designed to go underneath these heads here to stop them marking the thing, so I'll stick them on. Pretty hard to see, but they're just like clear plastic bumper pads, and then basically when it comes down it's just going to knock against that, not mark it. So the second lock, which I've still got out, is quite interesting actually. You can see the pins as you push the key in. See all the pins basically go flat, and when you pull the key out, all coming up and down, so that's why it doesn't slide in the barrel if the key's not out. If the key's not in, sorry. So the key needs to be in, and then this one basically goes into this latch, which is the same around here. You can see that. Or the hole, and simply just swizzle it around, find out how it slots. There we go, just by magic. It's located, so sorted. So this is a wing bar, and then these rubbers basically fit in here, so you have to take the rubbers out. I've put the first bit in because it's difficult to do with one hand. You can see here, this is the Tbar, basically locates into there, so you need to put the first one of the 2 in, and then this one, and then come back and locate. So got it on, so you can see the profile there. It's basically like I say, the 2 on there, basically try to slide it back. So that one's going to be located in the middle. I've got my fastener on this side, so like I say, it doesn't matter which side this one goes on because it's the middle one. The next one I put on this side, I want the fastener to be on this side, and the one I put on the other side, I want the fastener to be on there. So it's basically just showing you how to get it on. So I'm going to locate it into the middle as best I can. Try and lift the bike up, put the bike on it, and try and get the other one on. I'm not sure if I've got the other bike today, but I want to make sure to see what it looks like, how much space I've got. Right, I'm pretty particular, so I basically got a tape measure and measured from here to the bar, just in case the shape of these are different. I don't think they are, but I just measured to the bar, so I just made sure that it's proper centralised. So that's what I'll do. All you need to do now is basically spin these round and fasten that and get that clamped, and I'll measure the back one and make sure that's right in the middle as well. So spin it around like that, and you basically need to get it tight enough so when you pull that, these edges touch down. You see it starts to sort of prise its way down, and then that lock sort of fits inside there and turns. That's how that works. Get it a little bit tightened. Too tight, well, there you go. Perfect. Line perfectly there. Just need to tighten the other one up and then we'll get the bike up on top. Just make sure you flip these back. Feed them through the little holes like that, out of the way. So when you lift your bike up, you're not fiddling around with that, because you don't want to be messing around with your bike when you're lifting it up on your roof. So you just make sure that it doesn't damage your paintwork. And make sure that's loose in there, so you can drop your bike frame onto it pretty easily. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bike up, because I'm on my own, and I think doing that one-handed. There's 2 bikes on. I'm going to put 3 on, but I'm happy with that. I just want to test it out. The third one will go on. Just keep the noise. And then when you finish, what you do is just get a pair of scissors and you basically cut that to fit. It just pushes down. Pushes down into the track like that, just keeps all the rain out. Just cut it to size, and then so yeah, all these needs to be fastened down. Make sure the clamps as well. Just make sure you're happy with it and you've checked everything, but fingers crossed. I'm most worried about that big one. I think it'll be perfectly fine, but I'll be driving like Miss Daisy to Wales, I'll tell you that much. So thanks for watching, hope it helps. Obviously you've got an instruction booklet, but sometimes it's nice to see people actually do it, so there you go. Take care guys.